Hello students, in this video we will discuss Mendel's third law and it is law of independent assortment. What is law of independent assortment? You know, independent means free living and assortment means a kind of fusion, a kind of connection. So what this law states is that the trait that any one trait of any one character can be fused or can be assorted or can be linked with another trait of different character. Means, suppose there is a one trait of flower color. One flower color is red, one flower color is white. You know, if I'm showing with capital, it means it is dominant. And if I'm showing with a small letter, then it is recessive. That we have discussed when we have studied the law of dominance and segregation. This is what the character of flower color that possesses two traits: red red color of flower or white color of flower. Then another character is what plant height, that may be tall or maybe small. So, what is the law of independent assortment? That the trait of one gene, the trait of one gene can be assorted, can be fuses with the trait of another gene. Means this gene can become with this gene or this gene can become along with this gene or this gene in next coming generation. How this execute, how this taking place, we will discuss with the help of dihybrid cross. When we have gone through with dominance or segregation, then we conduct a cross with one character that have two traits, sorry, one character with two traits. Means character is what? Flower color. And two trait is what? One is red flower, one is white flower. But now we will conduct a dihybrid cross to explain law of independent assortment. For this, first we will take a plant on which flower appear of red color and the stem height of that plant is tall. So the feature is what? Tall and red flower plant. The next is what? You know, if I'm denoting with a small, it means what? It is recessive. Recessive trait means short and white flower plant. This is what? Parental generation. Right? Now, what happened? At the time of gamete formation, the cell division, meiotic cell division or meiosis will take in place. Earlier, I told you that meiosis or meiotic cell division is what? Haploid cell division, in which condition become haploid from diploid. In which condition become haploid from diploid. This is what? Diploid, and this is what? Haploid. Diploid is what? When genes are in pair. Haploid is what? When they are in single. So, at the time of gamete formation, suppose this we will consider as male plant and this we will consider as female plant. So what will happen at the time of gamete formation? When meiosis takes place, the gamete will form like this, because you know this is haploid, this is diploid condition, and after meiosis condition become haploid. Same will apply for this, right? In the same way, this will also develop the gamete like this, right? Now, you know, this we have uh, assumed as male plant, and this is what female plant. So when the pollen grain of these plants will fuses or fertilize with the egg or female gamete of that plant by the process of pollination, what will be the F1 progeny? F1 progeny will be like this and this, right? This pollen grain that is bearing two traits, tall and red flower, will fuses with this. So the F1 progeny is like this, right? Now, if you will talk about the phenotype, phenotype means external appearance. What will be the phenotype of this? Obviously, here capital T, it means it is of tall height, and capital R, it means it is of red flower. So the what is the phenotype? What is the appearance? Tall and red flower plant means in F1 progeny, the developed plant will having a stem of tall height and having a flower of red color. So this is what law of dominance. Till F1 generation, what we have studied only law of dominance. Now for the explanation or for the better understanding of law of independent assortment, we will conduct a self-pollination in the member of F1 generation. You know, in my previous video, when we are discussing law of segregation, in that law of segregation, we have also conduct a self-pollination in the member of F1 generation. Same here, to understand better law of independent assortment, we will develop a cross, we will develop a self-pollination cross in between the member of F1 generation. Means we are supposed to cross this with this, right? Means this plant have flower and the pollen grain of that flower will drop on the stigma of same flower. This is self-pollination. So the cross that will be further made like this. But here it is very difficult to find out the possibilities of offspring in F2 generation. So to understand the progeny of F2 generation easily or clearly, what we have done, we take out take out or calculate the possibilities of gametes. Suppose in this, what type of pollen grain will develop and what type of female gamete means egg will develop. So to understand this, what we do, we simply place them separately. Means what? This is the F1 generation, right? This is what? F1 generation. Now, what will be the progeny in F2 generation? For this, we are supposed to place them in separately, like this, this, and this, right? Now, what happened? Because we are conducting dihybrid cross, means two character with four trait. So this gene, the gene carrying this character can be come with this, right? Then the gamete will form with this genotype. This gene can be come along with this. Then the genotype will like this. Okay. This gene can come with this gene, right? Then this gene can come with this gene. So this is what the type of possibilities. These are the possibilities that pollen grains or eggs will be formed of this type. Now, one question maybe comes in your mind, okay, sir, why don't this come with this? This is diploid condition. So this will not come with this, because you know at the time of gamete formation, there is meiotic cell division, haploidal cell division. So guys, these are what the possibilities. I'm writing here in a separate manner. Now, by doing this, we have developed the possibilities of gametes that these type of male gamete or pollens will develop, and these type of female gamete or eggs will develop. Now, these are what the male and female gamete of F1 generation, right? What next? I told you now we will conduct a self pollination in the member of F1 generation. When we will conduct self pollination in the member of F1 generation, then what happen? These type of pollen grain will fuses with these type of eggs because we are conducting self pollination. Now, what will be the possibilities? To understand the possibilities of the member of F2 generation, we will draw a checkerboard or Punnett square board. We will draw a checkerboard or Punnett square board. This is very important because checkerboard is in the book of NCERT, but how it works, it is not mentioned over there. So see it very carefully. I'm going to draw a checkerboard or Punnett square board. Now, in one side, we will place male gamete, means pollen grain, like this. Clear? In another type, we will suppose to place female gamete or egg. These are say obviously these egg are also of this genotype because there is self pollination. Now, this pollen grain, if fuses with this egg, then further zygote will form of this nature. This pollen grain is fuses with this egg, then the condition will like this. Then the next, this pollen grain is fuses with this, then the condition is this. And if this pollen grain is fuses with this, then hope it is clear to all of you. Then if this pollen grain is fuses with this, then the condition will this. If this pollen grain is this, right? This one supposed to fuse with this. Now it is clear to you that how I'm filling these columns. These are what the possibility. This supposed to fuse with this. This supposed to fuse with this. So these are what the possibilities. This supposed to fuse with this. Then this supposed to fuse with this. This supposed to fuse with this. Now I have mentioned all the possibilities of the further member that will appear in F2 generation, and what we have get that can express with the help of ratio 9 ratio 3 ratio 3 ratio 1 ratio. If you will count all these, then you will found in them 9 will show the phenotype of tall and red flower plant. Among all these, the 9 will show the phenotype of tall and red flower plant, and 1 will show short and white flower plant. 1 will show white. This is what? Short and white flower plant. Now, what are these 3 ratio 3 ratio? You know, these members are appeared in the parental generation of this cross. You know, what are these possibilities? These are the possibility of F2 generation. Because what we have conducted a cell pollination in the member of F1 generation. So these are the possibility we are taking out of the member of F2 generation. Before F1 generation, there is parental generation. And in parental generation, what is capital T? What we have done, what the type of cross we have conducted? Capital T, capital T, capital R crosses with small t, small t, small r, small r. This is what the cross of parental generation. So in F2 generation, you are observing that 9 ratio is parental ratio, 1 ratio is parental ratio, one is dominant recessive. That another matter. Here we are not discussing the law of dominance. Here we are discussing law of independent assortment. So this is what the parental ratio. But you are observing that, here I underline some of them, that 3 will appear as tall and white flower plant. 3 will appear as tall and white flower plant, and other 3 will appear as short and red flower plant. So guys, now I think it is clear to you by getting these ratio that earlier in parental generation, tall is coming with red, but in F2 generation, tall is coming with white. In parental generation, short is coming with white, but in F2 generation, short is coming with red. Why it is possible? This is possible because Mendel suggested law of independent assortment, means the gene of one trait can be assorted with the gene of another trait. No doubt how it appear in parental generation. In parental, what is the genomic arrangement? What is the gene setup? In parental combination, it will further can vary because there is law of independent assortment. Means the gene of one trait can be assorted with the gene of another trait. So guys, hence because of all this, we get this ratio. This is what parental combination, this is what parental combination. But this 3 ratio is what? It is variation because of the law of independent assortment. So I hope this all is clear to you. This is what the phenotypic ratio. What I mentioned over here, it is phenotypic ratio. And if you want to calculate the genotypic ratio, then you have to put down that suppose this is pure red, this is hybrid red, this is hybrid red. So in such a way, you can also calculate, but at the level of 10 class, this is not very significant to calculate. So this is all about law of independent assortment that we have understand with the help of dihybrid cross.